Kelly Hansen, thanks for hanging out today.
Thanks for having me.
Boy, it's been a while since we've had a classic whodunit murder mystery in theaters, but there's one out right now, and it is crushing at the box office.
Here with his preview, along with a few other movie reviews worth checking out this weekend from the website Paul's Trip to the Movies. It's Paul McGuire Grimes.
Hi, Paul.
Hello. Hi.
Hi, Paul.
All right, so tell us about Knives Out, the movie that I keep hearing more and more about.
And you definitely need to see this. It stars Christopher Plummer as a mystery writer, and the morning after his 85th birthday, he is found dead in his study, and it's up to a detective played by Daniel Craig to figure out who done it.
So I see this, and now Chris Evans is in this.
Chris Evans.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Don Johnson, Michael Shannon, Toni Collette, star-stacked cast.
Are they family?
They're all family in this, and they all have their own motives to why they could have done it. So that's what makes it so fun, is it's so cleverly, if that's a word, written, that it keeps you on the edge of your seat because you're like, oh, I think I know who did it now. Oh, wait, I guess that's not who did it.
Is there comedy in this, too?
It is funny. It's a dark comedy. Yes, there's a lot of fun comedy in it. It's funny. And there's things that, like, you will see one scene from one angle, and then you'll see it again later on, and then you think, oh, that's how that scene actually happened.
So if you have a murder mystery, Paul, you could like 95% of the movie. If you don't like the payoff at the end, then it's all for naught. What do you make of the ending?
The payoff is great.
Ah.
And you will not guess it coming along the way, which is what's great, because then you're in the audience thinking, you're playing out who did it in your head, and it won't.
And there's a plot twist.
And then there's a plot
stubs.
So 4 out of 5 for this. It's super entertaining, great for the whole family in a sense. There's a lot of references to other murder mysteries like Clue and whatnot. I'll just leave it at that. But if you like this genre, Agatha Christie, you'll love this.
Okay, up next, Honey Boy.
Okay, so a movie that's very different than that. So Shia LaBeouf wrote this as a reflection on the relationship that he had with his father, who mentally and physically abused him as a kid. Oh. So Shia LaBeouf plays his father in it, and that's Noah Jupe, who plays Shia at a young age. They're living in this hotel room, and then Lucas Hedges plays Shia as an adult later on, going to rehab.
Wow, Shia LaBeouf, he is a very interesting actor.
Yes.
And he has had, you know, sort of his fair share of bizarre moments publicly. However, he's also always seemed to be a very gifted performer. How is he in this?
Bounced back.
He's incredible in this movie, and I think that this movie is not necessarily an excuse for his behavior late in life. It certainly explains it, but I think it's really a forgiveness story. It's I forgive my father for what he put me through, and hopefully that I move on from this. And
you think he's going to get Oscar buzz for this?
I hope so. He's so good in this, and you see Shia in a new light. And the movie is heavy. There's not a lot of humor. There's not a lot of levity, and I just sat in my car afterwards, like pit in the stomach, like sad, angry that this happens and still happens to people and kids out there. But hopefully Shia has kind of found a light at the end of this tunnel.
Ticket stubs.
So 4.5 out of 5. One of my favorite movies of the year. Go see it and support it. It's in select theaters right now.
All right, you got a minute to tell us about a movie that I've been intrigued by. It's called Marriage Story.
Yeah, it's a new Netflix movie that is garnering huge Oscar buzz. It stars Scarlett Johansson and Adam Driver, who were a couple that were madly in love. They're a writer and director, or an actor and director that are now going through a divorce, and their 8-year-old son who is stuck in the middle of this.
Is this an uplifting story in the end of it all?
I don't want to give that away. I will say that it's a very complicated story, but because no one's the villain here. It's not like one parent is worse than the other. It's based on his own divorce, the writer-director's divorce from his own wife, who's a very famous actress.
Like got Kramer versus Kramer vibes.
It kind of does, yeah. And you kind of wonder which side do you side with. And you're watching Adam Driver and ScarJo, who are giving the best performances of their careers in this movie.
So?
It's so raw, it's so vulnerable, and it's so honest too. Like, I'm married, my parents were divorced, so like I understood a lot of what gets said and done in this movie, and it just I sat through it like at tears at times, but understanding it and not siding for one person over the other. And then you see how other family members react to this divorce too.
Ticket stubs.
4.5 out of 5. Again, movie that really shook me as well. And the acting is phenomenal. Laura Dern, Ray Liotta also in it as well.
And on Netflix.
And on Netflix streaming. You can watch it at home right now.
You can visit Paul's website. It's paulstriptothemovies.com for more movie reviews. You can also listen to him on the Colleen and Bradley Show on My Talk 107.1 every Friday.
Or watch him on his YouTube channel, also called Paul's Trip to the Movies.
Hey, we got more Twin Cities Live coming.